I saw this video and I wanted to react to it because I think this is a good lesson and to unpack a few things in this video. And as we'll learn in this video, I did watch a couple minutes of it because I always watch a couple minutes of the videos to make sure it's something I even want to react to. But this is a good story, unfortunate but good. And I don't know what the status of this gentleman is in his journey, but this would be someone that I hope he has someone he could reach out to um, and work through this issue. So let's get into it. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
It's Saturday, and I'm filming this where I work at my office. My fiance's in another state. We bought a $560,000 house in Denver that we can't sell. If you're thinking about buying a home right now, you might want to hear how fast this all went sideways for me. In 2021, we bought our first home. It was a $180,000 fixer-upper in Michigan at a 2.5% interest rate. It needed work, but it was cheap, we were stable, and we were happy. I'm from Michigan, my fiance is from California, so after a few years, she wanted to be closer to her family, and we decided to bridge the gap. At the time, we were both making decent money, and we found what felt like a smart opportunity, a single family home split into 2 units. Our plan was pretty simple: live in one half, rent out the other, and offset the cost, which was expensive in Denver. In early 2023, we bought that house for $557,000 at a 5.9% interest rate. That plan did not work out. Denver was expensive, it didn't feel like home, and then I lost my job. And suddenly, that great plan was a problem. Last winter, we made the call. We're going to sell the house. We're going to move back to Michigan and just reset. After a few weeks of
Okay, so before we get any further, a lot to unpack there. One thing that stood out to me, well, a couple of things stood out to me. He moved to a state where he did not know. Obviously, his fiance is from there. Maybe she knew the area. There's a lot of holes in the stories that I don't know, but we can assume and just go off. Clearly, they must not have known the area that well. Anytime you move to a new state, I would always recommend don't jump in and buy right away. Rent something for 2 years. Find that if it's something you really want to call home before you make that commitment. That would be my first line of advice for anyone out there. Second, he bought cheap. One of the things I always say is you can go broke buying cheap. Don't think because it's a good deal that it's a good deal. It may bite you in the butt. This is why you need a mentor in your life, someone that can help you, come alongside you, show you what to look out for, what's been done before. I wish I would have talked to this guy. He would have found me before he made this purchase. Not that I could have saved him a lot of pain and suffering. Um, when you buy an older building, it sounds like this is a complete rehab. I don't know. I'm real big on systems. You automatically got to know when you're going to buy an old building, you're going to invest money in the systems, plumbing, electrical, HVAC, windows, roof, like those are siding. Those are things that you just got to get done if they're not in good shape. And there's no way to know that unless you're a skilled investor and you know what you're doing. Sounds like he wanted to house hack. That's a great plan. I recommend most people that's how you get your first deal is house hack. But running your numbers is extremely important. Out the gate, for a non-experienced investor, spending 550 for your first property, uh, that's a lot. Now, I spent 675 for my first property. It was a duplex. It is a duplex, and it's in a very expensive area. But I knew my numbers and I did the research. I also knew what is the lowest possible rent I can rent it out for and still cash flow. This is why I say it's important to know your numbers. I know that if I had to rent out both sides at the lowest number, I would still cash flow enough to pay the mortgage. And my question that I hopefully he'll get to at some point, but did he should he rent it out? and just hang on to it and let it that appreciation do its thing. Keep it as a rental. Get the Schedule E on your tax returns. Like that may be something, especially if you got a low interest rate. So I don't know if he mentioned that yet, but we're gonna see. Sorry, guys, my camera's getting a little funky here. Let me see if I can fix. Well, hopefully you can still hear me. Let's just play a little bit while we.
Silence, it became very clear that we were way overpriced and dropped our price to $599,000. Yesterday, we dropped our price to $549,000, and that's $8,000 below what we bought it for. At this point, I believe we will be paying to close on the house.
Oh no.
Okay, so I was in the middle of telling you more about that. We got an offer on our house. This highlights what this experience is like, buying or selling. It feels unstable, unpredictable, out of our control.
No, 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 no. This is why I always say it has to cash flow on day one. If it does not cash flow on day one, it's not a deal. Walk away. It's not that there's a house on every corner. Obviously, I feel bad for him. I'm not going to kick the man while he's down. He just lost his job. I get that. It's hard. But even if you lose a job and you rent it out, well, you can go ahead and let the tenants carry that for a while. At least buys you time to get yourself together. Um, Man, I just hate this. And this is not a seller's market at all. That's my whole reasoning into like, hey, rent it out, vet really well. And sometimes selling is the right answer. I'm not selling it, it's not. Sometimes it is, but I would just be curious if he bought in this area. Is it a nice home? Is it in a good area, a good school district? Does it have some? Can it make a good rental? Like, and then you just at least lets you punt for now. Come back next year and let's see where the prices are at.
Denver never felt like home. I was hesitating beforehand. The price was scary going into it. The house never felt
Emotions.
sustainable. We knew that early on, but we had other things telling us otherwise, and we just didn't want the truth to be true. So after all that hesitation, we went forward. My failure to acknowledge the early warning signs and actually do my own research to make my own informed decision rather than listening to somebody else's bright idea got me into this terrible mess. What I want to say right now is I will never be buying a house this expensive again. And I'm basing this off of my own social circle. I know there are a lot of people right now watching this dip in home prices all across the country, getting really excited about potentially buying a home soon. Maybe interest rates will drop, whatever. Having gone through all of this, I just want to be real and say, please do not be tempted to go in hard. Please don't make the same mistake that I did where I bought something that was well above my means and I put my.
You guys, get a mentor. Get a mentor. Learn this game before you jump into it. Just because you see guys on the internet like myself doesn't mean it's right for you. You have to find something that is right for you. This is devastating. I feel bad because this experience is gonna shape him, and it sounds like it's put a negative light on his real estate experience when all of this could have been avoided, which just it's really some minor tweaks. It looks like, and having a mentor. My camera's doing weird things. I don't know why. Sorry about that, guys. Having a mentor, someone to guide you and kind of say, nope, don't do this, do that. But hopefully this turns around for him. Let's finish this out and then we'll get out of here.
My family and myself in a bad situation. Make very calculated calls when it comes to spending this amount of money. I can't tell you if buying or waiting or renting is the right move. But what I can tell you is you're always going to be scared. Unless you have a ton of money at your disposal, you're going to feel a little hesitation every time you go to buy. We have, at least. But if you are really hesitating and really have a bad feeling in your gut, give it the time and listen to that. We did not. Because once you sign the papers, it's not just a house anymore. It's your time, your energy, your stress. You are bound to that decision. And I can tell you from my own experience, it's a hell of a situation to get out of when you realize too late that it was the wrong call. I hope that was insightful to you guys. I'm trying to get my feet off the ground here, though. If you like this, please comment, like, and subscribe. It's really
Yeah, go check out his channel. Give him a subscribe and a follow and a couple likes. That hopefully that'll ease him. But you guys, I can't stress enough. You can get on YouTube University. You can watch some of my content, and I always try to give you some knowledge about the real estate game and share what I can. I've been in the industry a long time as a property manager, and I can assure you, you want someone with experience in this business before you decide to make this a weekend hobby, because real estate is not passive, and it's considered passive by the IRS, but I'm telling you, as a active, it's very active. It's not passive at all. You get the phone calls, you get all that stuff, you get the lawsuits. It comes. What are you gonna do? Be careful, and again, having a mentor is worth its weight in gold. Now, I'm not saying these guys out here that are charging $80,000 for a session. No, you should not do that at all. Find someone who honest, you can trust, and that's willing to pour into you. And I'm not saying you can't pay them anything, but don't pay them a down payment on your property. So please like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. All right. See ya.